You know, I got to ask, I got to get this out of the way because your middle name is Buckshot, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So they call you Buck. What's the story behind the nickname?
I'm just warming up. Shoulders back, chest.
Calvert, touchdown! Just a beauty of a throw.
I don't need the stress. Doubting on my mic, make me operate the best. Olympic track, spikes, I'm up in my pace. Feeling like the governor, 49 states. And I already won, but it's more to the race. I ain't finished, I ain't done. Capitalize off the face. That's presidential. I ain't got it yet, but it's in my residential. They like how Jaibe do this with no...
It originated from my father. He's a big NASCAR guy, former NASCAR driver, Buckshot Jones. And, you know, growing up, he just wanted something that would stick out and something that would catch people's attention.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to No Flaggin, episode 2. I'm your host, Marlon Jett, with my brother, Oscar Serbin. Osky, yeah. Our other co-host,
your boy T-God, a.k.a.
T-God. And today we got a special guest.
Very special guest. We're huge.
Very special guest. Been a huge fan since I was a youngin'. We got Buckshot Calvert.
Appreciate you guys.
This guy, so he doesn't really need an introduction, but for those who need an introduction, this guy's the all-time leading passer at Liberty by a freaking mile. 3,000 more passing yards than the next guy, 30 more touchdowns than the next guy. I mean, that speaks for itself.
Appreciate you
and
guys.
That's over guys like, was it Josh Woodrum?
Yeah, over some guys that made it to the league.
But, and also Malik Willis.
Yeah, so we were kind of debating how to start the show. Because a lot of people in South Florida know you. And I think a lot of people know you because of this picture that was viral.
I was pretty well known before that, but yeah.
You were pretty well known before that.
It definitely set the tone.
I think your swag level, you kind of had like an alter ego, kind of like a Minshew Mania kind of thing going on with this picture.
Did you have a stylist or was that all you?
That's all me.
Yeah, so break down the outfit. Did you obviously choreograph the outfit with the car?
You see the shoes.
The shoes, yeah, I like them.
Balenciaga
shoes.
Yeah, Balenciaga.
Very nice.
Ferragamo belt.
Ferragamo.
Got the throwback Corvette in the back, and then I went
American flag,
all white with the red American flag, like you said. So
was that kind of like
tried to match
to Liberty?
No, that's his dad.
No, this was. My dad had this car for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Growing up, so
that's awesome.
I don't even think I was committed to Liberty at this time.
This is just.
But this was just. Right? Yeah,
you
know, down there in Miami, they don't play for Prom like. They ran every car you could think of just to.
I know it's like Lambos.
Just to go out and for one night.
How fast did you drive in that car?
It gets it's old school. It gets shaky, so I probably did like
140. Smart.
But it's a beast.
Yeah,
you're sticking to your roots. You know, you don't need a Lambo or a McLaren.
It would have been nice.
You're within that.
It would have been nice.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sorry. So I think of this picture, people are going to make assumptions about you, you know? But talk a little bit about your upbringing. Like, what kind of kid were you, I guess, in just throughout football? Were you always, like, confident? Like, you showed a lot of confidence on the field. Was that always the case for you?
I mean, growing up, so I always played sports. Everything from soccer, baseball, football, trying everything. My dad threw me in everything when I was really young. So, I mean, I always had the will and stuff like that to go out and play. So, I don't know. I kind of got it installed in me from my dad and stuff like that, but I don't know for real.
So when did you?
It's just all growing up and just being around it and being in front of everybody. And
when did you realize you could be a good quarterback, or when did you decide to be a quarterback?
My whole life. So from
born
before I could think, my dad was training me to be a quarterback. Like he already had the vision planned out for me, and that's where my middle name comes from. Really, he wanted something that I would be remembered by. Really,
Yeah. So he planned it almost like LeVar Ball.
Yeah, you can ask him; he'll tell you that. That's it.
All right, so let's talk about the game that we both were at that game. You were also a sophomore. The spring game. So it was your first game at Carroll City against North Miami, and I think you threw 6 freaking touchdowns.
I forgot. It wasn't North Miami, but
yeah, it was. I swear, dude. I was there. Hilton Joseph. Spring game.
So you're right.
Yeah.
I was like, I played 7-on-7 with those guys.
Yeah, because we played. Yeah.
You on them too.
But yeah, I mean,
you threw 6 touchdowns. So you don't even remember that. That just shows.
Spring game is.
That's true. Yeah, but you got your first offer after that or before?
After.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that was the game that kind of like put you on the map, because people were talking after that a lot. So did you hear that noise, or did you just?
Honestly, I felt like I was always under the radar. A lot of quarterbacks from my class, they were good, but it was a lot that came out 2016 with me that we still taught to communicate. That still people like Tyler Huntley, playing for the Ravens right now.
Yeah.
So I know it's just growing up with them boys and having that people next to you that you could, grind with, compete with, and that they're on the same level as you. So it's like you guys really striving to get to the same thing, and that's what really pushes people to go like farther and really make it. It's just having people next to you that enjoy doing the same thing that you do.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So what was it like, the transition? Because we know you went to Chaminade, obviously. So what was it like transitioning to Carroll City and everything? Like, what was the culture like?
I mean, the culture is definitely different, but I fed in well. I was, a football player, so everybody always was there for me. Like, I never really had no problems, nothing like that. Culture, I mean, it was good. It was different, different experience. Like, I got to see 2 sides of everything. Christian, private school, seeing how people go about their life like that, different people, and then going to, a tough part of Miami and stepping in and, doing what I had to do. But it just comes with, my hard work and grind, and these boys out. Because it's funny how I actually got to Miami Carroll City.
Yeah.
7-on-7 team I was playing for, strong arm. I knew a couple people growing up that I played a 7-on-7 league with a couple of them, like when I was young. Like,
what was one of the guys, like Newbold?
Steve Newbold. That's one of the guys I'm talking about.
That guy's a dog, bro.
I knew him since I was young.
That was your like
go-to
guy.
Yeah, you guys had
a kid.
Yeah, connection. Yeah.
But we lost track throughout the years. Fast forward to strong arm tryouts. They see me. They run up to me. Oh, Buckshot. They already was on the team and stuff like that. So they see me try out. They already knew what I had, and coaches fell in love with me, the strong arm coaches, and basically all the strong arm coaches were at Carroll City at the time.
Yes, I got you.
And we practiced right there at Carroll City.
Yeah.
So all they did was call the head coach, Aubrey Hill. Rest in peace. He passed away. He came and talked to me, and that's honestly one of my best coaches I ever ran into, a head coach like that. He really showed me you could be something, like not just football. Like, he was a real man, like a guy you'd want to look up to and follow. So it's like, once he came and talked to me, this where he got me. He's like, what's your favorite college team? I'm like, Miami. I forgot who the head coach was at the time. Showed me his number. I'm like, this is number right here. So he already had all the connections and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, it's kind of falling into place.
For sure.
So I just went and took a chance.
So how was your dream school?
Miami.
So it's funny. South Florida really has so many good quarterbacks down here now. And a lot of them just fall under the radar. I think you're the biggest one I can think of, at least according to all the stats and all this stuff, which we'll get into later.
That's what I say all the time, just as a quick note. Like, Miami never offers these guys, like, at least since Teddy Bridgewater, and Teddy Bridgewater obviously committed to Louisville over Miami, and then they got Ja'Cory Harris. But other than that, it's like Tyler Huntley, they didn't offer. You, they didn't offer.
Lamar Jackson.
Going back, Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson, even like Sean White from another Sly guy. Like
There's so many
yeah,
too. The list goes on.
Yeah. So talking about Miami, let's talk about
Mike
Lynchburg.
White.
Let's
balling
talk
out
about
this year.
So talking about Miami, all these guys. Let's talk about Lynchburg, Virginia. So Lynchburg, when I hear that name, a lot of shit comes to mind. So I had Osky do a little research. So Osky's gonna give this little history lesson here
It's not what you
about
think,
the
though.
name Lynchburg and the origin of it.
So just pivoting from.
Do you know the backstory behind the name?
I don't.
Okay, so he's gonna do a little history lesson.
So
here.
I learned from a Wikipedia glance that Lynchburg is nicknamed the city of the Seven Hills. It's at the
Because of the war, right? It was a war or something.
well,
like
it's
that?
at the foothills of the I think the Blue Ridge Mountain range.
So it's in the mountains. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Beautiful.
What's the
campus.
elevation?
Campus
Is there like
beautiful.
high elevation?
I think it's
pretty normal?
probably about the same.
Okay. Anyways, so I learned that Lynchburg was the only city in Virginia in the 1860s that wasn't overtaken by the Union when
It's
the
like
Civil War was
yeah.
Pretty
happening.
sure I heard this story.
Like they were the
That's
last
crazy,
Confederate
yeah.
city that stood throughout the end of the war.
Yeah.
So, and it's still called Lynchburg, and we know what that alludes to. At least I don't.
Does
I
any-
mean, I haven't
Yeah.
looked into the
All right.
origins of the
Yeah.
name, but yeah.
What's the question?
So going from a place like Carroll City, what's that culture shock like, or was there even a culture shock? Like, what did it feel like going from a place like
That's
here
what
to
I'm
there?
saying. Like Lynchburg, Virginia, to me, it's a quiet, well, like, like it's honestly was so different, but in a good way. Like down here is so crazy, wild, and just so much going on. And then you go to Lynchburg, Virginia, and it's just quiet, peaceful.
I like that.
Everybody's so nice. Like it was a great experience. Like the campus and stuff like that, beautiful facilities.
Yeah.
The towns around this small town, but everybody knows everybody, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's not what you would call fun.
Yeah.
But the people that were there, like my teammates,
Yeah.
and the people I ran into and met,
Yeah.
you got to make what it is, and we
100%.
did. It was,
No, that's great.
We had a blast.
So what was your transition to college like as far as football goes? So you got there in the summer.
Yeah.
So you didn't start the first game. You started really early in the season,
Yeah.
right? So what was your transition like to the team? Like how did you get acclimated as like or assert yourself as a leader to be able to put yourself in a competition like that?
True freshman.
Yeah, as a true freshman.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, just playing down here at Miami, definitely was probably the biggest experience that I could have been thankful for, because definitely got me prepared. Playing against the top talents down here is when I went up there, it was no comparison at all. Like night and day difference. Like it stood out completely to me. And once I realized that,
as far as what, like they were better up there or not as good?
No, not as good.
Really?
Yeah, like
wow. So in college, it's less competitive than down here.
I would say that in most.
I'll say as a disclaimer, like you're by far way more talented than I ever was as an athlete. But I had that same feeling just as a quarterback playing high school in South
I had that
Florida.
in college too a little bit. I was just a little slower, right?
Like Shuman
slower
will-
game.
Shuman will
Yeah,
tell
so
you,
slow
like-
down.
Yeah.
It felt, I don't want to say easy, but
So what were you on the depth chart when you first got there?
I was second string.
Oh, already second.
Yeah.
And how many guys were there in the room?
It was, I think,
Three?
4 on scholarship and maybe a walk on.
So you were in a battle with another guy and you just
Yes. So he was there. So Josh Woodrum before me, 4-year starter as well.
Wow.
So once he left, it was a guy named Stefan Mascher's good friend of mine, great guy. He was supposed to be the guy, and he was when it came down to it to start the season.
Yeah.
But Turner Gill, my head coach, he always told me, like, be prepared, because every game you're gonna get at least one drive.
Nice.
So
Just giving you a shot.
I mean,
you know?
every my first 3 games, I got a series. So I mean, that always getting my feet wet and a live experience was good. But but he came in and it didn't go how they wanted it to. So at the 4th game, they were like, they told him, they came to us to the side, they pulled me and him to the side room while we were in the hotel, and they were like, Stefan, you're gonna get the first 2 drives, and then Buck, you're gonna go out get the next 2.
Yeah,
and
we'll see from there.
Whoever whoever gets the ball rolling from there,
Wow.
is gonna just take off. And after that, next game I ended up throwing for I broke the school record for first career start passing yards.
Damn.
Yeah, 300 or something versus Robert Morris.
Sheesh.
Balled out.
So
Ended up, rest is history.
Wow.
So what was camp like? Like your first camp? Because 2016. You know what I'm saying? Camp was.
Yeah, you're right. It's a grind. It's college football is a job and some. People don't understand. It's
for sure.
It's all day, literally, and it's I could say prepares you for really when you're out of college and stuff like that. I didn't have a job until I graduated college. Once I came down here, and being there, playing football my whole life and going through a college system and stuff like that, definitely gave me an upper hand on how to attack a job.
For sure.
So stuff like that, man. It's just I try to take in the little things and learn from them, and just try to apply it to life. But
for sure,
that grind is serious, boy. It creates a bond,
for sure.
That team bond after that summer grind. It's y'all locked in for life.
Sure. For sure.
Yeah, got your ups and downs, but we know that at the end of the day, we really put blood, sweat, and tears into this, and
for sure,
it's war when we step on the field.
100%. Let's move on to our first segment. It's called T God's Levels.
All right, cool.
Levels
So
to the shit.
I always say it's
Levels to the
it.
shit.
Okay.
Levels
So
to the shit.
levels to the shit. So when I played at Purdue, obviously, FBS, and then I went down to FCS. So I know what it's like. The competition is like. So from your perspective, you let us know what the competition was like, far as with playing FCS and then
was there a huge
FBS
talent gap between the FCS and the FBS?
Major.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was the difference?
What were the key things that stuck out to you?
I think just people being more athletic and really having that skill to play ball. Some people just play ball, they're good at it, but they don't really have that it factor.
Yeah,
exactly.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of people with it, but it's a lot of people that just wants to play football to be on a team, and they're fast, or they fit the position good, they got the size and stuff like that, but they're not really.
Well, compare the teams he was playing, right? You have Robert Morris.
Yeah.
Versus you ended. Who's the biggest school you played at?
Baylor.
Baylor. That's a whole other
Georgia
story.
Tech.
I guess that's a good segue.
I mean, Virginia Tech,
BYU, right?
BYU. Those were some.
So who are your school rivals? What teams?
Coastal Carolina.
Coastal. Okay.
Yeah.
And what was that like?
For the most part, when I was there, because we were FCS. I mean, they used to tear us up when I played. I can't lie.
Really?
So
did you ever beat them or no? Damn.
But I don't think I played
didn't
them
their coach
twice.
just get hired at Liberty actually?
Yeah.
So
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So their fans are going crazy.
He's
right
a
now.
traitor, huh?
Traitor.
But he moved on to the right side, I guess.
Traitor.
I mean, they were good though.
No, that was a good program,
yeah,
man.
they were doing good.
Greenfields.
Yeah, Greenfield, blue,
Well, all fields.
teal, right?
Yeah,
Teal.
I got
But,
my butt whooped on that field.
Let's talk about the Baylor game, because I think that was your most notable moment in the
breakout,
public eye, your big breakout moment in college. So for those I don't know, he played against Baylor on the road. It was Liberty's first Power 5 win in the school's history. They beat Matt Rule
when they were an FCS team.
When they were an FCS team, they played on the road at Baylor, FBS team, Big 12. The coach was Matt Rule, was a former NFL coach, just got fired, but whatever. And on SportsCenter, they said that they canceled class after the win.
Yeah.
So you must have been
Actually,
the freaking man on campus, bro. Did you have a girlfriend at the time or no?
I had a girlfriend.
Hey, it's
back
a Christian
home.
school.
So
it's a nice
Dude,
school.
that's probably sick though. What was that like? It was
amazing.
What was the whole experience? Well, how was the game, first of all?
Honestly, it's crazy. I was sick that game.
Really?
So I wasn't feeling good at all.
It's Jordan game. It's fire.
I was not feeling good at all during the game.
Yeah.
But that just flying in, playing in a big stadium like that, the environment. First time. Well, I played at VTech my freshman year, but I played one series, like I said.
Yeah.
But that stadium gets loud. But the Baylor game,
it's loud as hell.
But man,
yeah, that's it.
It's hard to explain because my feelings are still. It's still an amazing feeling, but yeah, we had a 98% chance to lose like a
Wow.
30-something point underdog.
Did Coach Gill kind of like use that in his pregame speech or something? Is there a reason you know that, or he used that to amp you guys up?
Now after the fact, all this I started looking into it and stuff, seeing all the stuff like that. But man, that game was something else. I think I threw the ball like I want to say almost 50 something times. Well, I did 50 something times.
Was it 470
yards?
40
something completions.
Yeah, it's insane.
400.
Yeah, but you're slinging it. The thing that stood out to me is you're very decisive. Like whenever you throw the ball.
I had some great weapons at Liberty. I can't lie.
No, yeah, you had Gandy Golden,
I
two
had
other
some
guys,
great
but you
weapons.
anticipated really well, honestly. That's what stuck out to me. So what was it like after the game? Like, what was the whole what was the team like in the locker room, and then you at the sports center? Was that it was the next day?
It was a day or two. I can't remember.
Yeah. So what was that like? That whole process? Were you like kind of in shock?
Yeah. So after the game, a whole bunch of media, of course, but that's normal to me. Like once I stepped in and got the role, I already experienced how the media was gonna be. But that was just to the max at that point for me. Just as a sophomore to see all that stuff. But yeah, that week, like you said, they canceled class right after that. But funny story is, while we were on the plane back home, when we were about to land in Lynchburg, our football stadium, it was probably 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
Loaded with fans waiting for us to come back to the facility.
It's crazy.
Turns out we go to land. It just so happens that night is super, super, super foggy. We can't even land in our normal airport. We have to land in somewhere in Blacksburg, Virginia.
Yeah.
So we ended up sleeping at the airport that night. Couldn't go see the fans. Damn. So we drive back early in the morning and everybody was asleep.
They were still there?
No, they were asleep.
Oh, they're gone. Damn.
Everybody was gone, but and then that continued into the ESPN and
so where did you guys sleep?
We slept literally
in the airport.
I slept on a couch, but it was only a few couches, like a couple chairs.
Damn.
And everybody else was sleeping on the floor.
It's brutal.
So you mentioned Lynchburg's this really tight knit small community, and I think just the fact that they would cancel classes after a huge win for the football team, makes me want to ask what was it like? Did you feel super supported there? Was football kind of the thing that everyone kind of rallied around?
For sure, that's game nights in that small town. Even LCA, it's like the small high school to Liberty, basically. It's basically connected. Even their Friday night games. Yeah, it's pretty packed.
Is it in Liberty Stadium?
Yeah, at Liberty.
Oh, that's cool.
At Liberty Stadium.
It's awesome.
So, I mean, the fans are there. They always come out and support. If you go to a Liberty game, the experience is crazy. The student section sold out.
It's awesome.
7,000 to 10,000 people, students coming out every game.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was definitely a big part of it. I don't want to say poster boy, but I was I had big posters on.
I mean, you are
on campus with all the athletic, promotion stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, dude, you were the all-time leading passer.
Did everyone just know who you were on campus, or is kind of one of those things people, you'd be walking with your backpack and then people kind of look at the banner and they do a double take? Is that
I kind of
you?
stood out a little bit, but everybody kind of knew. But I was quiet, so I really didn't get too much. I'll just go to class and go home, study on stuff like that. So every now and then you get people coming up to you and saying what's up. They want to take a picture and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, I was out the way. I was trying to do me and just focus on myself. But I definitely had a lot of fans.
So when you were playing at Liberty, was your goal to play in the league?
Of course.
Was that in your mind whenever you were playing?
Growing up, get to the league.
So when Turner Gill goes out and then now Hugh Freeze comes in, is that oh shit, this is a great opportunity? What was your mindset when you came in?
Man, once he stepped on campus, it's the air, something changed in the air. You could feel it.
Yeah.
And And once he stepped in, and before he got on campus, he called me and we chopped it up on the phone, stuff like that. So I already knew what type of man and everything he'd been through and stuff like that. So I knew what I was getting myself into. And, you know, coming from Auburn and watching that system, like
They're
watching
almost,
him beat Alabama 2 times consecutively, like you gotta, and then actually playing under him and being a quarterback, and then
awesome.
Like he's a genius. Like I could say that. And then the coaching staff he brung in, my quarterback coach that he brung in, Kent Austin, he played for Ole Miss, Canadian Football League legend. Like
nice. Yes, you had some good.
Basically ran the Canadian League. Like
really, wow, that's
he did
awesome.
Everything, but
so you got an in there, man.
He was a pass game coordinator.
Yeah,
and he was another guru. Like those two combined, like Coach Freeze calling the first and second down. Like we ran a whole bunch of RPO, run pass options. So he basically has that figured out in his head. Like this defense is lined up in this formation. Yeah, perfect RPO read for this. Calls it up. And then if we ever get stuck in like a third down situation, he'll go to my coach, Kent.
You would check something.
What do you think? Gotcha. What do you think? Third and 3, third and 4. He'll call, like he got plays for days, like deep. Like he was.
I mean, it sounds like Coach Freeze really does this like really collaborative process, like, and it sounds like even before he got to campus, since he called you up, like. How much were you involved kind of in the game planning? Because it sounds like he probably would have valued your opinion more so than
so if you even go look at Coach Freeze at Auburn, he really had majority running quarterbacks for the most part, or more athletic quarterbacks.
See, Auburn or Ole Miss?
Ole Miss.
Now he's Auburn. Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the games in my head, and I was thinking
of
of Chad Kelly through the
facts. Chad Kelly.
Dog.
But so he really had like a real like quarterback option style game plan. He switched it up with me. Like he figured out what works. He went back and watched what we were good at when I was, you know, playing under Turner Gill and Joe Daly, and you know he kind of put his own
mixture,
mixed it up, and he came with it. And
the mad scientist making his mixture.
Scientist. He whipped it up perfect.
Well, that's awesome. So talk about when Malik Willis came in. What was that like? Was that a kind of competition feel? Or he knew he was sitting out?
Well, he didn't know when he got there.
So was it a competition feel? Or they were like, you're the guy. He's sitting like, watch you this year, back you up. What was the whole situation like?
I mean, I was the guy, and he came in, you know, Auburn transfer. It was in the air. Like, if he gets this, his eligibility waived, and he could come. He could possibly come in and take the job. Like he was that guy. Like he is that guy. And when he stepped on, he's literally like a perfect dude. Like he's so humble, like coolest dude, down to earth guy like you could possibly run into. Like, and he just stepped in and he fat right in. Like he came with the quarterbacks and everybody came around him, and I mean, it was cool. And then the grind wise, watching him, me and him going at it, like he's a beast. Tough. Like he could really throw the ball. So it definitely,
you're up there with him, right?
Definitely encouraged, of course.
So do you think if he was eligible that year to play, who do you think would have started? Like,
I gotta say me. Of course, I gotta say me.
But you gotta say yourself.
I would have.
Competitor.
You know, I'm saying, do you think they would have tried?
They would have. They probably would have for sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Of course, I think Coach Freeze, because you got to think this year he had 3 quarterbacks playing in like at one game at a time.
Oof,
they would
like
rotate
like. And no, that was him.
Yeah,
but
he would do that. With
I kind of felt like
offense.
Kind of feel like, you know, when he was there, like we kind of really like after our Syracuse loss, our first game at home, we went to rolling. Like, and he went to. We were tearing up defenses. So I kind of feel like he would have had no choice but to leave me in.
Nah, for sure.
Is that when you were a senior?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would have torn the locker room apart, I'm sure. You kind of were like the face of the team as they transitioned from FCS to FBS. Like you were
you're like the cornerstone piece to that, you know? Seriously, you got a good publicity. You beat Baylor. Yeah. That kind of put the program on another level. Sports Center, all these things. Any good publicity like that, you know. And you guys think about it, they paid a lot of money to play. You guys,
Yeah, for real.
so they paid a lot of money to lose.
You know what that number is to go? Was that your season opener?
Yeah.
So you fly
My sophomore year.
Your sophomore year. So you fly. That was the year right before you moved up to FBS, right?
Yeah.
So last year in FCS, sophomore Buckshot flies from Lynchburg into Waco.
Young and gun.
Big 12 opponent. Like
That's dope.
You know,
gunslinging it.
Gunslinging, almost 500 yards.
Yeah, that game was amazing.
Matt Rule's debut. NFL guys on that team like Denzel Mims.
Yeah, they were huge though. Like
Michael Hasty.
Yeah,
they were. So
that game, like I'm sure that gave you a lot of confidence. And go back to your senior year, finish it out. What was the situation like with like scouts and talking to different people? Because for me, it's shocking how you didn't. Yeah. I didn't hear anything. You know, I would look your name up and shit and be like, yo, where's he at? Where's he playing? All this stuff.
Yeah. And I remember seeing Gandy Golden projected like as a late round guy.
Yeah,
where he ended up 6th round, right? To Washington.
6th round, okay.
Washington fan.
But yeah,
so it's like, where's Buckshot? If this guy's getting looked at, where's Buckshot? How do you not see the guy throwing the ball?
He went 4th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So 4th round. So your best receiver was a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
But he was a stud. Like
no, he was a stud. I'll give it to him. But like, bro, like watching you versus other guys.
Shoulder throws you're giving him.
Like watching you versus other guys, there's no doubt you should have gotten a shot. So I'm sure COVID had something to do with it. But like, what happened exactly? So the season ends. What was the situation after that, or what happened right after the season ended?
So right after when the season ended, I headed back home, and that's when I started getting on my grind for pro days and combines and private session workouts, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was doing that for a few months, and then they started canceling everything.
So you're gonna have a pro day at Liberty, right?
You
didn't get a combine invite, or did you?
I didn't get a combine invite.
That's
I was
crazy.
doing something. It was the Dolphins were hosting like a pro day or something like that down here.
Canceled.
So I didn't get to really go out, meet any
like
coaching staff,
right?
Yeah, like.
And is there a way that really? Because for you, I feel like you're a guy that in person you show out, and like the way you throw the ball just sticks out in person. You know, because you could see on tape, but then when you see someone in person, especially as a quarterback, you could see like the talent, the way the ball jumps off someone's hand. You know, you can see the talent at any position, whatever your position.
Off platform throws.
Yes, off platform throws.
Movement, like mobility in general.
So with that happening and everything, with the whole COVID thing, and like you weren't able to do any pro days and stuff like that, like when did you stop? You know what I'm saying? Like being on your grind and everything to where it was just like, forget it.
So really, I mean, I kind of gave it up a little too early, but at that time, I had my son when I was my senior year in college, so I was away from him I had him, I forgot what, he was born on September 8th, but I forgot what team we were.
Right before
we
the
played.
Season. Like,
no, we played a game. I played a game.
Oh, before that.
Right, the day of, I was in the game. I think in Louisiana Lafayette.
Like,
Billy Napier. Where was he before he was at
Lafayette? Yeah,
Lafayette. We were there. So after the game, I'm on the phone while while my kids being born. So after that, I fly home for a day or two, see him, and then I'm right back to Lynchburg for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was away from him for like 3 months. So while I was down here, I was just really bonding with him and
it's tough to get away.
So
hanging with the fam.
While playing and everything, and obviously you having a kid your senior year, did it ever pop up in your mind like, damn, like I can't wait till the season's over, like I want to be with my kid and everything?
Yeah, it was tough. It was. It's a tough experience. She ended up coming up like a few times, like after the season and stuff like that. So I could finish semester out and stuff like that. But it's tough not being there, especially at that young.
Yeah.
Like the first 3 to 6 months of a child being born, it's hard, and my girl was going through it. Like
yeah, I'm already knowing, man.
So I was dealing with a lot, but
it's cool though. It's cool.
It had to be happen. It had to happen. Like I had to be up here. I had to go play and stuff like that. So it wasn't worth it, but I mean, I had to do it.
So did you ever get feedback from scouts? Because I have a few friends I've talked to that I asked them, like, oh, do you get feedback from scouts? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
And they say, yeah, you get like a draft grade. So you never got any of that stuff?
I mean, personally, I never seen or any, like, my actual,
like your coaches never, like, reach out to scouts or anything, really?
I mean, I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
Did you have to, like, apply to the draft?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Yeah.
I don't know either.
Because, like, how does the XFL work? So some of your friends, or even
Yeah,
you
so,
went to an
like,
XFL workout. How did that work?
So it was like this. So it was like you sign up, obviously, or whatever, you pay. But like a lot of guys, because the thing is, like I always say, it's politics. So like the XFL already know who they want to draft, who they want to see
already
work
got
out and stuff.
Yeah.
So how do you get your name on that list?
NFL players and stuff, they already got their eyes on stuff like that. You don't get.
Well, the quarterbacks are very competitive. I was watching a podcast with Jordan Palmer, who's like a big quarterback trainer. He's also like part of the XFL now. And there's like the former Hawaii quarterback like that just got drafted, Cole McDonald. There's like a group of like 30 quarterbacks in this camp. Wow. So there's a lot of people, and this is the XFL tryout.
But like no shade to like a guy like Cole McDonald or like whoever comes to mind, like Luis Perez, that D2 guy.
These guys get shot after shot.
AAF,
You deserve one shot.
Exactly. Those journeymen that are trying to get into the NFL, like Josh Johnson was in the NFL and then he used that and got back, but it's different. But how are you not in the conversation? Like our intern, actually, it's kind of cool we could say that now, honestly. But like our intern, I told him you were coming on tonight and he looked you up right quick and he was like, oh, I found this article that you're one of the candidates for the Cowboys practice squad, that they need another quarterback when Dak got hurt, right? And so I guess you said it's bullshit, but like I was gonna ask, like, has anyone reached out, like, or have you hung it up because you're done, or just because you haven't really gotten the right opportunity or the right person reaching out?
I mean, I for sure hung it up because I didn't really get any extra opportunities, but then again, I wasn't out there pursuing and trying to really do it.
It's kind of like, you know, if I get a call, I'm down. Like, but you didn't, stick your foot in the door kind of thing. Yeah. So how did the end of your I guess I want to ask, like, from the end of your senior year, your season's over. Do you guys play a bowl game that year?
Yeah, first ever bowl game. We went to the Cure Bowl.
FBS history.
Yeah. Ended up winning that, so we won the first ever bowl game.
So you ended on a high note.
Yeah, ended on a real high note. My son was there to celebrate with me, so it was definitely a great way to go out of college. For sure. And they ended up winning 3 in a row. Unfortunately, they lost yesterday, but it's a good run.
For sure.
Yeah, Liberty definitely made a lot of noise for these past couple of years.
Nah, man.
Yeah, they were ranked 17 when Malik.
Yeah, Malik you definitely helped put that program. You definitely helped put the program on the next level for sure. 100%.
So what was the next half of that senior year like after your football season?
Well, then COVID happened, right? So what was COVID like for you?
Staying home.
Yeah, I guess like anybody. Yeah, you weren't working out at that point. You were like, fuck it.
I mean, I was working out, still throwing and stuff like that, but not every day. But
it's tough, you know, if you're not hearing anything, you know.
But do you ever miss it? Like, do you ever think like, damn, like, what if I kept, you know what I'm saying, chasing?
It's so funny because I get this question. It is a what if. Like, if I could have made it to the NFL, of course, like I would have still been doing it. But I tell people all the time, like, after doing it for so long, my whole life, it takes a toll. Like, once I finally stopped and chilled for like a couple months, felt good. Like, it felt good just to sit back and watch for once. Like, and then I kind of got distracted and I let it take control. But
it's funny you say that because, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm the same way. Like, I started playing when I was 5 years old.
Yeah, like
did 6 years of college and playing like that. So like this past year, it's just the same thing. Like, I think about it like, damn, I miss it. Like, what else? But at the same time,
always
like,
gonna miss it.
Chilling,
I
just be like, damn, it feel good.
That's where I think, at least it's like I'm younger than you guys, but I played less recently. You know what I mean? Because I only played 1 year in college, and I was like, I'm done with this shit. Because I just had other interests, and I was like, whatever. But I wasn't starting like you either. Fucking the man, you know.
So they switched you to receiver.
Yeah, I played receiver.
But like when I was young, every day, like 6 days a week, maybe even 7, like 2.5 hours a day going through practice.
You get burnt out, you know. That's why I think it's very important. That's what I learned after football is balance. So if you could work out and do everything, but just have a balanced approach. So like you work out and do everything on point, but then the rest of the day you're not working out. Your mind doesn't have to be on football. You could think about every other thing in the world. So when you're in football doing your thing, you're really focused, you know?
Yes.
That's like having a work-life balance is very important.
It kind of messed me up in the long run. Like
that's pretty much everybody.
All I knew was like
that's everybody with anything they do.
Up.
You know what I mean? That's why it's important to have that balance, which most people, I never thought, because I was very like that too, and I burned myself out for sure. You know?
I guess that's a good segue to we were talking before you got here as well. Like, I want to know who Buckshot really is. Like, all I've heard, like I was saying to you before, like as a joke, like every interview is just like, oh, Buckshot's a cool name. Like, how'd you get that name? Like, and you give the same answer, and it's, you know, kind of grown with you as you've grown.
Yeah, facts.
But like, who is? What would you describe?
Yeah, like what other
are
interests did you have as a kid? Like for us, I mean, I guess to give you an example, I would say an interest we have is like stupid ass movies, like Will Ferrell shit.
Yeah.
What else is interest? He does music. Like I guess you could say he's a rapper.
Oh man,
I can rap. I love to hear that.
You know, we like bodybuilding. That's an interest. Like what other interests do you have?
I played video games and I love playing. Growing up, it was either video games or I'm playing basketball with my friends, or we outside.
Basketball, okay.
Running around.
What kind of basketball player are you? A shooter?
Shooter.
Me too. Yeah, it's always
big
the
time
white
shooter.
dude,
But
right?
Guard.
to the name, I could. Yeah, for sure, passer, but
You're
more
like a two. You're like
stroke.
you're like
He has
a
the
Tyler.
stroke.
dribbles weren't
He's got the
really-
stroke.
You're like a Tyler.
That's like
Hero.
me when I play basketball
Yeah,
now.
tough.
My handles suck,
Okay.
but I got the stroke still.
Yeah,
Never
facts.
lose
I
it.
got a smooth.
Never lose the
three-point
shot. Never lose it.
But to the name,
Yeah, we'll
it's-
do like
it's-
we'll do like a we'll what's the word? I forgot the word. We'll reenact.
Yeah.
We'll reenact the classic
interview.
Buckshot interview question.
Yeah.
The first question.
Go ahead.
So Steven, or Buckshot, or your teammates call you Buck, but I've learned that it's actually your middle name. What goes into that nickname? Like, what's the origin of it?
Hold on. This is the segment called Osky's awkward moment. Go ahead. All right. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going.
So what's the origin
You
of
had to do it.
the Buckshot name?
That's
I'd
the
make it
goal.
more awkward.
Exactly, that's true.
Yeah, there you go. See, he had cringe.
He's the
That's all I
cringe.
get.
Yeah, he had to make
I'll look
Shuman
at the
cringe.
camera.
Our goal is to make him cringe as much as possible. Go ahead, just go.
I asked the question.
Okay,
So-
sorry.
It's gonna stick to the. It's always gonna be the same because it's
Same
what
as
it is. It's how I grew up. It's what. It's like how I was raised. So, growing up, my dad, big NASCAR guy. NASCAR,
Dude, I'm sorry.
number 44.
Bro,
This
we're
is crazy.
Buckshot
We
fans. Like,
Yeah, we
we
dead ass
know
are
what you're
fans,
gonna
dude.
say already,
Exactly.
and
It's
as
funny.
it happens, we're
That's why
dying
it's
on the
awkward.
inside. I
Crazy,
can't
yeah.
That's why
hold
it's
it in.
awkward.
It's funny.
Awkward
Oh,
moment.
that was
Yeah.
bad. Okay.
That's so funny.
But my dad just wanted something that would stick for.
I love it, dude. It's great.
Yeah.
It really works. It fits you perfectly too.
Yeah.
I think it
Oh,
fits
I
your
would've
personality as a
bet my
quarterback.
life
When I was
savings
younger, I
on
didn't
if
really
he would've used the
understand
word
it, like-
stick.
Yeah, but
I
you know
thought it
what's
was kinda
funny?
I thought it was kind of weird.
You have. Oh, this is a good question here. So,
It's cool.
name's Buckshot.
Well, he
What
gets
was?
it. His name's Jett.
Yeah, my middle name's Jett.
That's
What
two
would be the
Ts.
word you would describe yourself as a quarterback? Because they describe you as a gunslinger on the internet,
Yeah.
but you really didn't throw that many interceptions. Your last year, you only threw 7 picks to 28 touchdowns. It's a very good ratio. So what would you describe if you had to use one word? Like for me, I don't know what I would say I was. What would you say?
I would say
It's pretty hard. Go ahead.
Trace McSorley.
for
I'm
me,
saying no, like one word
Trace
like, to
McSorley.
describe yourself.
to describe myself,
Like gunslinger. Scrambler. Like for me, I would say I was. I don't fucking know. I
would say
whatever. That's what I was to say. I was
Playmaker.
whatever.
pure pocket
Playmaker.
passer. Like
Yeah,
like
Really?
I could put the ball. I
would
could
say-
place the ball
yeah.
anywhere I wanted to on the field. Like
I would say pure.
Without a doubt.
Pure is the word. Pure.
Pure pass.
Pure. Just
Pure
look
Because I
natural.
think saying
You're
pocket
natural.
passer just like diminishes your mobility. And
Nah,
your
bro, you can
movement in
move
the
too.
pocket.
No, he can move.
had a
See,
little
like,
sauce
'cause
in
you
the
can
pocket,
move.
You
but
did,
got
bro.
sauce.
Got
You got
sauce.
not
in the pocket.
wheels.
Sauce in the
I don't
pocket.
have
That's all you
any wheels. I
need.
got some
So you
sauce,
got
though.
you could extend the play.
Yeah.
All you need is a little bit of sauce. So next segment we're gonna go into is guess that player.
Gotcha.
Guess that player. So we're gonna go over 3 player stats. All-time college
football
stats.
legends.
College football legends. And you're going to have to guess which player is which.
Okay.
Player number A, 12,025 yards, passing yards, 93 touchdowns. Player number B, 11,201
Player
passing
number B.
yards, 89 touchdowns. Sorry. I'm stupid. Player C, I almost said letter C, 4,773 yards and 30 touchdowns.
Shit.
So player A is by far the leading stat leader. And then we have player B and C.
What,
Bro,
like,
just put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, give him a hint. You got to give him a hint.
Okay,
what
so-
year, like, generation or something?
Okay, this is tough.
All right.
So we have three players.
Yeah.
You, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. Those
Okay.
are the three
Now
players.
let me hear it.
Player
College,
A,
their college
Let me
stats
hear it.
all time.
college stats all
Yeah.
time, three players.
So I gotta know my
we have
college
you,
stats.
Yeah.
Buckshot Calvert. We have the Sheriff, Peyton Manning, and we have the GOAT, Tom
You got to
Brady.
mix and match. That's
Yeah.
Player
yeah.
A
Okay.
has 12,025 passing yards and 93 total touchdowns,
Mhm.
passing touchdowns.
Passing touchdowns.
Player B has
Can't be me.
11,201 yards and 89 touchdowns. And player C has 4,773 yards and 30 touchdowns. Can
So
you
it's
see
you, Peyton, and Tom?
you, Peyton, and Tom?
Wow.
So
So
you
the
want to tell you
first
who's
one
who? Yeah.
is definitely Peyton.
The leading
Okay.
one?
A
Okay.
is
Okay.
Peyton.
Good
Okay.
answer.
Tom
answer.
Brady. I know Tom Brady was the last pick in the draft, so
Yeah.
his stats couldn't be that good. He has
Okay.
to be C,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
and I'm B.
Okay.
All right.
So your final answer?
Oh yeah, finally.
Okay. You're wrong. man. You have 1,000 more passing yards than Peyton Manning and 4 more touchdowns than Peyton Manning in college.
Yeah. See,
How about that shit?
it might be? I don't know. You might be inaccurate on that.
No, I
Nope,
swear. Dude,
nope.
we looked
That's
it up.
Your career stats.
That's your career stats, dude. Telling
Yeah,
you.
they-
4 years.
How about that
In 4
shit, dude?
years in college.
Telling you,
They
bro.
made
And
How
sure
like
about
to
you
that
look
said,
shit,
this
you
up.
didn't even start your
That's
whole
real
freshman
shit,
year.
dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's real shit, right? It's crazy shit. All right, so I guess what
That's
should
just
we
why-
go up to that? That just shows
like how enamored we are with you.
anyone listening.
Just as
Listen
former
to what I
Southside
just said.
quarterbacks in high school.
Listen to what I just said, people. Okay, let's ask a little bit of. Now we're kind of freelancing because we kind of covered the topics
Well,
we
we were
had.
getting
written.
into the who's the real buckshot.
Oh yeah. So
outside
what
of
other
football.
So what other interests do you have outside of football? You said video games. So what kind of video games are you talking? Call of Duty,
Right now, it's just
Fortnite,
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty,
Yeah, when I was in college, Fortnite heavy.
Fortnite. Yeah.
That was the main thing.
Madden.
And 2K.
Ooh,
Fortnite
2K?
and 2K.
No Madden.
Remember that.
I was never good at Madden. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Me
It's
either
weird.
until I started reading the defense seriously.
Yeah, it's because Madden's a
It's
whole bunch of
bullshit
cheese
sometimes.
play. Like,
Yeah,
cheese
facts.
plays.
That's
like,
Well,
true.
we were just playing
If you're
NCAA
glitchy,
14.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
that's
we were
true.
just playing, but
I got
he
the
cheated on
gaming
his-
piece. I'm not cheating, bro.
Man,
He's
I mean,
like,
I was
he's like
average,
because you
but-
know how to edit the game.
I always
and
got like it was always
Yeah, he
so
was
much
coding
better.
something. And he
you
got
know how to
Bryce
mod
Young
the
throwing it
game
over
to get
everybody's
the
head.
Oh, you
updated
did
shit.
that.
I should get the Liberty mod. I should download Liberty on there.
Man, you need to stop cheating.
I'm not cheating, bro. You're just yeah.
No.
But yeah,
Just jealous.
sports, basketball, and I like hanging out with the fam.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Family guy. Big family guy. It's very important.
So watching sports.
Yeah. So you- basketball, you said you played every sport growing up.
Yeah.
So when did you stop playing other sports? For me, I
High
think,
school.
did you play other sports, Shuman?
Not in high school, but
Me either,
far
but
as,
before-
like,
what-
middle school, yeah, I
yeah.
played basketball.
Me too. So I stopped
Yeah.
playing other sports. We all did up until high school. I think a lot of people do that. Were you the same?
Yeah.
So you went just football in high school? Nice.
So
Yeah, I
what
think
made
track
you run
people
track?
like-
yeah.
Oh, track
What
too,
made you
yeah.
do that? Just to stay in
Their
shape.
coaches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
I'm right.
That was at
Right.
Shuman.
Shuman, yeah.
Shaman,
Ooh.
Your track's important.
they just won the
Yeah,
stage,
they
so
just-
they got something good going on.
If you had to play any other position other than quarterback, what do you think
Receiver.
you'd play? Receiver?
Or safety.
You don't want it, man. It sucks. I did both.
Yeah, I couldn't
It's not the
tackle. That's
same.
why I say safety.
Yeah, I couldn't
but
tackle either. It's tough.
I
You
got
gotta
really
tackle
good.
at
I got
safety.
top tier hands. Like
What? You
You
played
gotta-
safety in a game?
that's.
He said because I can't tackle.
Oh.
You gotta
I
tackle
played
at
safety
What
one
are you
time at
talking
Shuman
about?
at JV game.
Like free
Really?
safety
versus
then.
American Heritage.
So what was
Last
it like?
play of the game.
My
Like a
bad,
deep
but I
safety.
just wanted to ask you this. So what was it like playing at Chaminade with those guys? Calvin Ridley,
Yeah.
Sean White.
That's a
Richard
good
Yeager,
question too.
Calvin Ridley. And who?
That's
And
it
who
was a
else?
whole bunch. It was another guy named Alex Thomas. He
Alex
went-
Thomas, that's
went to
his name.
Cincinnati. But yeah, they were loaded. That was all of them. That was their junior year.
Wasn't Hollywood Brown there too?
Yeah,
Hollywood.
But
He was there. He went there, but I wasn't there when he was there.
Oh, no?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
went there
Couple
our
years
senior year.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it was our
gotcha.
senior year. He was there.
So
He's really your age? I didn't know. I thought he was much older.
No, he's all right. Yeah,
That's crazy. I thought he was way older, man. Wow.
That's a whole other discussion.
Oh, yeah,
on
you
draft
played with Dre Baker.
classes.
And Dre Baker.
Yeah, whatever.
So,
Dre Baker from the West?
Yes.
Yeah, he went there too.
He was at Chaminade?
Yeah, we didn't know that either.
Oh, I played with him in the spring that time.
Yeah.
Very nice.
it was amazing. Like being around them.
Yeah.
Coming into high school and seeing like what it takes, and I'm like these guys I'm grinding with every day. Like I'm watching them put in the work, so they're setting the rope for the generations underneath them. But the thing was, our head coach, I forgot his name. He ended up leaving. I think Coach Tim or something like that. He ended up leaving, and the coach they brought in, nobody was really messing with him. So
so that made everybody
really went to U school. Everybody hit it to U school, and they ended up going to States or something like that.
So do you think if that whole team would have stayed there, like to grow, like, you know what I'm saying, to grow together, do you think y'all would have by far went to States and won?
Yeah, their senior year, their last year together, they would have won States for sure. At the end, another guy that was big and impact in my life, Sean White, the quarterback.
Sean White.
Man, he was a beast. Like coming in the shower night and watching him, how he threw the ball.
Yeah, facts.
I used to love Sean White. Like
Me too, dude.
He was that guy.
Think about it.
And
now.
then watching him go to the Elite 11.
Yeah, dude.
And
that was my shit.
I think he might have almost won.
He won it. He did win it.
Right?
He was MVP. Yeah.
That was.
And he was like one of the last guys invited too, right?
Yeah, he was the last guy. Yeah, that was a huge thing for South Florida guys, man. That was huge.
I got to see
but
firsthand all that stuff.
No, 100%.
That got him the Auburn offer. And not to go back
Yeah.
too far, but I wanted to ask, like, you didn't really touch on recruiting. Like with Sean White going to Elite 11, that got him the Auburn offer. But looking back in hindsight, it didn't really seem like the best fit for him because they were doing more of that triple option stuff with like Nick Marshall at quarterback, and he didn't really. He's the pocket passer. So like, you had what, USF was your first offer, and then FIU and Liberty. So what made you choose Liberty ultimately?
So I got I got USF for sure my sophomore year. When I went after camp, I got invited to the camp, and they watched me throw live, and ended up Coach Sly Johnson, big time
Shout out
coach
Sly.
in my life, called me, pulled me to the side with the coach, and told me got the offer. That was my first offer, and then FIU was always in my ear supposedly, but they never pulled the trigger on an offer out.
Really?
So when it came down to it, my senior year, I was between Liberty, not between, but I only had Liberty and Bethune-Cookman, 2 offers.
Yeah, Liberty was the no-brainer there.
Was the HBCU in consideration coming from Carroll City?
They weren't very good at the time, right?
What about Ryan Stanley, FAMU?
But I understand.
Ryan Stanley, that's my guy.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
he did his thing, though, at FAMU.
He did. He played really well, man. He played really well.
Broward to HBCU,
Yeah.
white, blonde quarterback
he did his
connection.
thing.
So let's go back to this picture, the prom picture. When did you get that kind of swag with the dressing? When was that going to Carroll City? Did you really step your swag up, or is that something you kind of had as a kid?
You know, he had.
I always
he was born with
had shoe game. Like
Yeah.
growing up, like my neighbors, they had a whole bunch of shoes growing up, and
Like you got the hand-me-downs.
I used to rock some of their shoes sometimes. So
Fire.
they always, and then I had my own shoes, of course. So
Yeah.
I always had a whole bunch of shoes growing up and stuff like that. So once I finally figured out how to really put it all together, that's when
you started swagging out.
Was the red kind of like for Liberty? You just like, I need the red.
No,
I
man.
just like
red
red.
is just,
like,
I like red
is
too.
honestly one of my favorite colors. Red,
Facts.
white.
It's a good combo, man. It's
Good
clean.
combo.
Can't go wrong with the combo. Can't go wrong with the combo. Let's ask some football. So, as a quarterback, what kind of things did you think or what did a typical week in game prep look like as a college starting quarterback? So you were a 4-year quarterback, an experienced guy, started a lot of games. So people that are up and coming quarterbacks in high school that want to be starters, you know, what did a week's game prep look like, and the amount of work that it really takes to get ready for an opponent, especially at the FBS level?
It's a great question. You better be ready to put in a whole bunch of extra hours. I could tell you that much.
So would you break it down? So I'm just watching different interviews. So like, say like McDaniel would do like Monday, Tuesday is like first and second down, then Thursdays
for
third down. You know, like how would you guys
so-
break it up? Like be very detailed like that, because that's like something. You know, our viewers are hopefully football people.
Yeah, no, that's
you
a
know,
great
so we want the
question,
details.
for
Of
real.
it, you know?
Yeah, that's a real head coach question. Like, it's
We got the whiteboard. If you wanna
That's
draw
the dream
something
for me.
up.
it's
Low key.
It's a lot. Like Mondays, so after the game Saturday, this what we did.
Like,
We'll
yeah,
come
say
in
what you would do.
Sunday, and we'll lift. We'll do like a small
Recovery lift.
Yep. Watch the film.
Yep.
Maybe do a slight run or something like that.
Let's get the
and we'll
knots
go
out
home.
and shit. Yeah.
Monday, we're off. We're off Mondays,
Even if you lost,
even if we lost,
damn,
because we came in Sundays, so
you need the recovery.
we needed one.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Would you
mandatory.
take that day
That's like
completely
one
off, or
day.
would you take that day off, or would you go in like the hot tub, get some treatment?
You
Like
know,
what would you do?
yeah,
Or
for sure,
varied?
recovery,
Nice.
hot
Did you at
tub.
least do like a Sunday team walkthrough kind of thing?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
watch
yeah.
film?
Film. The film was really
Yeah.
majority of it, and then if we lost, we
Yeah.
clear our minds.
100%. Yeah.
get
So
rid of
so
it,
now
but-
you're on Monday. You're off. You're getting some recovery.
Yeah,
Hot
so
tub,
we're getting
cold tub.
recovery, basically knocking out as much study hall and off the field stuff as possible because
Yeah,
it's
get it out of the
basically
way.
off day.
Nice. So you got to be on it. If you procrastinate at all,
Yeah,
you're
you're
screwed a little bit. You know.
Yeah, because we have mandatory study hall hours and stuff like that.
Yep.
So you might as well
For
do 'em
sure.
while you're free. But Tuesday, wake up, go to class, go to study hall. After study hall, you shoot over to the indoor facility, get your treatment or whatever if you're
Yep.
going to. I was never really a treatment guy.
Me
Like,
either. I
hated
never
going-
went in the. I never got
unless it
treatment
was
either.
the cold tub, hot tub.
Yeah.
I was kind of out their way.
Yeah.
Or I used to get dry needling on my shoulder and stuff like that. But
It's good.
other than that, so a Tuesday we'll come in. I probably already have the script in my locker room, in my locker or something like that. Start preparing
practice script?
Yeah, the practice script. Go to it's meetings, so we go straight to meetings. But it's basically Tuesday. We're breaking down. We're learning our opponent.
Yeah.
Learning what they run.
Mhm.
Start breaking down. Well, Monday, we go in and really break down by ourselves, but our
Yeah.
coaches couldn't be in there. So
You do your
Tuesday,
independent stuff.
they're in there really giving us the full
Yeah.
rundown and what the majority of their coverages is, what blitzes they send, like
So to give people
who
some
their
yeah.
best player, key
To give
players
people
is,
some
who's the
reference.
weakness.
To give people reference on your off day, you were still going over stuff.
Yeah, of
Because if
course.
you didn't know anything going into Tuesday,
Yeah.
you're behind.
You're behind.
So you
for
got to
sure.
be ahead to be, or you got to be ahead or you're behind in
Yeah.
college football, especially as a starting quarterback with all that
Mhm.
stuff riding on you.
Yes.
So yeah, so keep going. So Tuesday, let's study breaking down tendencies.
Tendencies.
Yep.
How we plan on attacking those tendencies and schemes and coverages they got.
Mhm.
So we're installing
New stuff.
New
sometimes.
plays.
Yeah.
that fit those coverages, stuff like that. So we do that for probably like an hour, and then we'll go out on the field. We already have a script, practice script
Mhm.
already called all the plays we want practice. So walk through, just helmet,
Yeah.
shoulder pads, helmet, stuff like that.
That's changed a lot, right?
Yeah, it's,
Used to be in pads every day, man. I
Yeah.
remember those days, right?
Oh, yeah.
Way better. I mean, honestly, I never played real football during that time, so I can't say if it would benefit.
during the season. It's better,
Yeah.
way better.
Yeah, for sure.
Less contact, but do the walkthroughs. We had this thing beginning of practice after we warmed up and stretched, walk through stuff that's called red ball, offense versus defense, get crunk, go at it, compete real quick, and then it was all split up into like
And that was ones versus ones.
ones
ones
versus
versus
ones,
ones.
and then
So just run your own stuff.
twos versus twos will go.
Yeah.
and it's tempo, like
Like it.
on the ball, script, fast,
This is with
fast
Hugh
as
Freeze,
possible.
right?
Yeah.
Got you. Yep.
And we'll get competitive real quick, and then we'll split up into position groups. It's like 20. We used to do like 23 periods each period, like
Yeah, that sounds about right.
5 to 10 minutes.
Mhm.
So it's a whole bunch of stuff that we used to do, like
And you guys would do that every day as far as the ones versus ones, twos versus twos.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
especially during the summer and like leading up, like first Tuesday or Wednesday type, and then we'll settle down a little bit and relax, do just spider pads and helmet and stuff like that. No contact, really.
Yeah. And so you don't go any pads. It's like the small mini shoulder
shoulder
pads.
pads.
You guys had that
Not
too
really
at
shoulder
Albany?
pads, but
Yeah, it was like it's almost like a girdle. It's like a girdle for your upper body.
I did up D2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about one. That's what it looked like. That's pretty much what they is. The little
D2.
shoulder
He didn't
shots.
have that. We were D1 guys. He didn't have that. But
That's
so
where
go
the
so
difference is, the
so each
spider
day you're
pads.
pretty much breaking down a different tendency of the defense or installing a different way to attack them.
Yes.
You know. So let's talk about football questions. Go QB to QB. This is our next segment. QB to QB. We got two
Oh, that's
QBs
perfect actually.
and a DB here. What?
Because I had a thought in mind when you were talking about running through the 2-minute drills. So when I was in college, we had a coach that he took actually inspiration from the Auburn offense. And I know Hugh Freeze is now at Auburn, but he's the Ole Miss guy originally.
Yeah.
But anyways, like I wanted to ask, what was your favorite, like, doesn't matter for whatever reason, like what was your favorite call? Like whether it was like you just shout out a certain word. Like we had one just for context, I guess, like the coach at Bentley at the time, there were two calls. There was Riri and there was Cake, like a Rihanna song.
I like that.
And like Cake was like curl flat or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, Cake. Yeah. It'd be like, Riri. I just had to do the impression right quick. That's how he sounded.
Ours is majority hand signals, so it's...
All right, what's the fun? We had a hand signaling Optimist, but the guy would just do the middle finger. Middle finger was just a fade. The coach would do it. Marlon. Yeah. But all right, so let's do QB to QB.
Yeah.
It's a little segment we're gonna do. So what was your favorite route to throw in a game? Because you threw goes,
of course.
Yeah.
Or deep outs.
Deep outs from the outside?
Yeah. Or
what's your versus let's think, 'cause you're a big 7-on-7 guy.
Yeah.
So say like cover 2. What was your favorite concept to run versus cover 2? Just fucking goes? Or like
that goes. I could draw it up.
Yeah, let's draw it up. Let's go to the film board. Yeah, let's erase that. So that's his Instagram right there, all his socials. Yeah. If you guys want to see his socials.
See, every episode we're just getting better and better.
Every episode we're upgrading, fellas. We got review.
We got the all-time leading passer.
We got the all-time leading passer.
Drawing up plays and concepts.
And listen, this kid is still available to play football. He's gonna get in shape. He's gonna play. He's ready for it.
Did we talk about that arena football combine yet?
Yeah, he's gonna do it. You got it if he wants to do it. All right, so we're gonna draw up his favorite cover concept versus a 2 shell. It doesn't have to be cover 2. It could be quarters.
Just leaving the Phineas.
Could be quarters. Yeah,
so
it could be quarters. Could be
2.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
We're doing some like Mariucci Gruden stuff here.
Yeah, well, he's just gonna write it. He's gonna write his favorite. All right, so for everyone tuning in, we got Buckshot Calvert. He's gonna write. I asked him this is during a quarterback segment, QB to QB. So we're asking his favorite route concept versus cover 2. So cover 2 is when you have 2 safeties on the top.
When'd you come up with that name? I like that name, QB to QB.
I never thought of it earlier. I wrote it down.
Is it like a number 2 or it's just like QB space 2?
QB to QB.
Oh, nice.
Here, try this
Let
red
him draw
one.
something up. Shuman about to draw the defense in, I suppose?
You don't have to. So it's a cover 2 or cover 4, which means there's 2 safeties showing high, and it could either be 4 deep or 2 deep. This is his favorite concept, route concept, versus that coverage.
So that's route.
Aha, that's almost a sail variation, eh? If you look at it like that, right? Because you could have the guy going to the flag, he could break it off depending on the coverage, and that would be sail pretty much. Because
it's like a switch.
Because you could have with the drag. That's what I've learned about Mike McDaniel, bro. Is he could run that. So say this, he could run it from trips right. Just have the guy like delay, or even if he wants to say there's an extra guy on the edge on the right, right? Say you have the fullback is that guy on the left, right? Say he motions to the right, chips, chips. For like 2 seconds to seal that edge, seal that edge, and then fly to the flat. Okay, so yeah, this is
a scissor concept.
Scissor concept?
Yeah.
So,
okay, so what are you looking at here? What's your read?
Red zone, or where do you run this usually?
Anywhere. You can run this anywhere in the field.
It's a deep shot play.
So this is another...
Oh, wait, you want to move the mic up?
Oh, yeah, move the mic up. Here, this is another... Well, you can sit down actually and draw. So this is... This is cover 2. Cover 4. Yeah. So this is his favorite cover 4 concept. So right how he has a scissor... So explain it here. You got scissors concept?
But this... If they show cover... If they catch you, they're trying to disguise or trap you, and you think they're in cover 2 or cover 4.
Yeah.
This your man beater.
Sure.
You end up just going man.
Is it press convert to fade?
Yeah, press
convert to fade.
Possibly,
Got you.
Yeah. Or
you give him a little signal.
You can throw him by and give him a signal. So what you want to do here is the key concept is really on these two receivers. So what you want to do? He wants to stem in, and it should be a corner, safety, and a safety. Mm-hmm. So he wants to stem in, attack him, like literally
run at his feet,
run towards him.
Yep,
and make him clear it out. And he steps on the corner's toes, slips underneath it, and you got the post right down the middle of the field.
Yep.
Easy.
And then if everything's backed off,
if everything's
your check down is pretty much.
And then he could either sit over the ball.
Very nice. So what would this play call be in your offense? Do you remember or no?
I forgot the name of it, honestly.
Yeah. All right. So we'll cut that out.
I forgot the name.
Oh, we can make it up. That's pretty. It's fucking. You could say like.
You
could say dual right, ace right.
This duo right.
Dual right, scissors, fucking 60, whatever you want to say.
Wide drag.
Whatever you want to say, you know. All right, so let's do another question now. So now it's time for the 2-minute drill. Let's kind of wrap it up. Time for the 2-minute drill. So we're just gonna ask random questions back to back. I'm gonna start a timer for 2 minutes actually, so we can make it legit.
What about like would you consider playing?
Yeah, would you still consider playing football if the opportunity? Like, say there's the AFL tryout I'm talking about. Would you do that shit?
I'll play
for sure.
I would still play.
Like you're only 25, right?
Yeah.
You know, still a young guy, man.
More than enough time.
You look at Kurt Warner's story, all this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And if you look at guys that need a shot, or like you have the production to back it up, so you're not some fucking like dummy off the street. You know, you got the production, you got the accolades. You know, you got a lot of tape out there. And if you just train and have the right like mechanics, if you show the right people and you go in person, bro, you fucking impress people for sure.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie, not even to cut you off. Like you can be just like, well, not comparing you two because you two are obviously different players, but it's just like Maurice Alexander, for example. Like,
yeah, bro, look at him. He's stuck around. He's getting shot. Look at him now. You know, it just takes one opportunity. So I would say don't ever give it up. Just keep staying. Like, bro, I'll train with you. I don't give a fuck. I'll drive anywhere. I don't.
Also going off that, it kind of maybe I think before we started recording, we were just chatting. We're talking about what was the main reason that you didn't get a look, right? You didn't get the call to go to the COVID, but also
and my size. I would
your size.
If
right?
I had to assume my weight.
Right. And we were talking about that before about guys like Lamar Jackson had the same concern, except he's obviously more of a runner. But you mentioned earlier that you never had any major injuries and you're a 4-year player.
Yeah, that's
you didn't start your whole freshman year, but for the most part you did.
Yeah, you took some shots. You're
4-year player.
You're
You're the all-time leader in yards. You have more yards in college than Peyton Manning. We went over that. You couldn't even believe it yourself. So, I mean, you're obviously durable.
Yeah.
That's what I've been. If there was one thing you could say to scouts, I guess, like if you were to give it a second chance, like what would that be?
I mean, you get what you see. I'll come in and take over a program. Like I got that ability to change a team.
I believe it, man.
I still got the love and passion for the game. So just get back on my grind and
just give you the opportunity.
Get back the sky's like
get
life.
The opportunity.
Pure QB.
Life is so long, man.
Yeah.
It really is. You're only 25. That's super young, you know?
Yeah,
but the journey is seriously endless. So, like, never close the door, you know? And if you deserve a shot. If you don't get a shot, something's wrong. So I would say you're going to get a shot regardless. This AFL thing, that's a shot. All you need is an eyeball that sees you. The one right person is the right opportunity, you know? That's literally all it takes. Literally.
I've been getting emails from the fan controlled league.
Dude, for sure, man.
That'd be kind of cool.
Bro, I don't think you should do it, man. Like? Yeah, what does they say?
They're having tryouts.
Yeah.
But the closest one is in like Georgia or something like that.
It's a road trip, man.
But they're all about the branding and they had that quarter. What was his name?
If I was an agent already,
QB Stu,
smoking
the J and shit. That was hard. That was hard.
I threw with him before.
Oh yeah,
destroying. You know how you got? He
you
goes around was doing one-on-ones.
Yeah, you threw there.
So my boy JPZ, he ended up winning like. He started traveling with him.
Yeah. Oh no shit, he's traveling with him now.
Jacor Pearson.
Yeah. He started traveling to these one-on-one events that Destroying was hosting.
Making money, right?
Making money.
Yeah.
Winning them. Like
he
won like 3 out of,
I saw a couple on YouTube.
6 or 7, and he's been killing it. So, and that's funny.
Destroying is just Sly.
He follows Destroying
on. Sly really had to figure it out back then.
for sure.
That's Destroying's shit, you know.
Times 50 million though. He gets
it's different idea, different model.
I passed him the J during the game too.
Yeah, bro. So that's an idea. The AFL is probably it's another good opportunity to see. If there's so many leagues out there now, and all you need is just to keep it's getting more tape on those live reps, even practice and stuff. They
got all type of stuff.
But the tape he already has,
and he has a lot of tape already.
He put up, it's like
it speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
I would say just keep learning the game. Oh, that's another thing. When you played in high school, what was your focus? Because from we talked about us before. I mean, not so much Shuman. He was kind of focused on being a good player. I focused on getting better, but kind of at the wrong things. We focused on the recruiting and got in our head too much, where we couldn't just play free.
Yeah.
Was that your case? Were you playing for recruiting? You just went out there playing?
No, I wasn't playing for recruiting. I was just playing for my teammates and the love of the game. And
I think it shows when you play. You can see it.
Yeah. I always said, like I said, just growing up,
that's what you do.
I've been playing football my whole life. I want to win playing football, so I'm gonna go out there and give everything I got.
For sure. All right, now I think it's time to start to wrap it up. We'll go into the 2-minute drill. Start the clock, and we're just gonna ask the most random questions that come to our mind. I have a couple written down, then after that, we're just gonna free ball it.
Go ahead.
All right, number 1. What is your favorite kind of sandwich?
BLT.
BLT. Nice. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No.
It's a glizzy.
It's a glizzy. That's what he said.
I like that.
Same thing. Glizzy.
Is putting ketchup on a hot dog a sin?
Yes.
I like that too.
Big sin. Damn. Never did it in my life.
Who is your favorite music artist?
That's hard.
Right now, I bump Lil Baby, Kodak.
He was saying he saw something you like Taylor
Swift. Yeah, I watched an interview like Taylor Swift. Hold on, still a 2-minute drill.
Yeah, throwback.
2-minute drill. This might be a little inappropriate, but Oprah, Ellen, Taylor Swift. You gotta kill one, you gotta marry one, and you gotta bone one. Oprah, Ellen, Taylor Swift.
Growing up, my dad wanted something that would stick on me to get remembered, and also it's a NASCAR driver that he always enjoyed watching.
Yeah. That's cool. I know I always call you Buck.